How many of you have a company brochure of sorts or a website? Who has a website for their company? And I've been to them before. Don't you need one, Hal? You're strictly face-to-face kind of guy, aren't you? That's okay. How many of you have a company brochure? I didn't know EGI had one. You have a company? I've seen yours. Yours are pretty cool.
Yeah, we have for the other companies.
Yeah, I've seen that. Do you have one, Garrett?
Not directly about our business, but we do have, information.
Are you fee-based or commission-based or kind of a mixture?
Primarily fee-based.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like guys like you. I'm going to tell you, I don't want you to work on your company brochure right now. Before you get into your business, I don't want you to work on your website yet either. If you've got a website, fine, keep it. I'm not saying shut it down. What I want you to create, this is your assignment between now and next month, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes before our break at 10:15. Make sure we break at 10:15ish, okay? Bryce, help me out here. Before our next break, I'm going to show you a tool that I have used that every one of you in this room can and should be using. I call it a consumer awareness guide. It comes in different names. Some people call it a white paper. Some people call it a special report. I call it a consumer awareness guide because it's talking to the consumer and I want to make him aware or her aware of my industry. If you turn to page 39, a consumer awareness guide is not your company brochure. These are brochures that I've created throughout the years, and I put a big red X in front of them saying, this is not what you should be doing. The upper right-hand corner one is one for a financial planner that I did a long time ago. That's on page 40, pardon me, whoops. Excuse me, I went to too many pages there, didn't I? Go to 39. These are examples of consumer awareness guides, and I'm going to show you some actual ones that I've created and some that have been created by other people. You want to think like Consumer Reports. Are there any subscribers to Consumer Reports in here? Why do you subscribe to Consumer Reports, Jeff?
Before I get something, I like to see what all the models are.
What's the last thing that you consulted Consumer Reports on, or looked in their buying guides or things like that? What and bought?
Water heater.
Really, they even talk about water heaters in Consumer. And did Consumer Reports influence you?
Yeah.
Did you buy something that they recommended?
Well, or similar. Sometimes you can't find the exact model that they've done, but they talk about the features.
Why do you like the magazine? You subscribe too, Russell. Why do you like Consumer Reports, the magazine? Do you get the hard copy still?
No,
Okay.
they don't take ads. They don't sell their pages.
Yeah, they buy the products and test them. They're not donated to them and test them.
And Ford can't buy a full page ad in there.
No. Neither does the Ensign magazine, for that matter, right? So we should all be reading the Ensign magazine. That's the one put out by the LDS Church. But in Consumer Reports, it's owned by a company, by Consumers Union, I think. They've been around for 80 years, and they're very independent. They're almost scientific. By the way, they appeal to this part of the brain, the body, even though most decisions are made with the heart. But they are talking to people like that who are trying to make an intelligent decision on what they're doing. Everybody wants to make an intelligent, and I want to feel good that I made this decision right. Most companies start off by creating, turn to page 40, most people start off by creating their company brochure. What is a company brochure usually all about? It's you. You are irrelevant. I don't care how talented you are. I especially don't care how many years you've been in business. I don't care your product offering. I care about who? Me. My favorite word in all of marketing is WIIFM. What's in it for me? So I'm going to show you what you ought to do is create a consumer awareness guide. Turn the page over to page 41. This is the first sheet of a consumer awareness guide. This is a true consumer awareness guide. It's 73 pages long. It's talking to people who are tax delinquents. I know this market. This guy is a genius. The headline, represent yourself before the IRS. When you read just the headline only, imagine that you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in past due taxes. What would that headline do to you if you owed the IRS money? What does that headline do to you? I can do it. I can get over this. The next paragraph, the next headline, the tax relief you've been waiting for is now available. Then this tax guy immediately gets into the head of the person saying, whoa, 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 whoa. This guy's giving me 73 pages of information. Why would I show you how to deal with the IRS for free? Isn't that what you're thinking? This is a guy who's a paid tax professional who can rescue people from the IRS. And he's in here answering the questions that are in your mind. This is a wonderful information guide. Just a minute, I want to show you some before we turn to page 42. I love these. I saved them, and I'm going to show you why I saved them, and I'm going to show you one that I did not do. If you're a lawyer, it is a feeding frenzy out there. What kind of business do personal injury attorneys want? Why do they want, that's a dumb question. Why do personal injury attorneys want personal injury cases? Yes, and why do they want them? What is the pay? Who's ever hired a PI attorney before? How much? 33%. Yeah, 33.133. Yeah, 33 and a third. Okay, let's get that 0.34 in there. Yes, it is. They get 33% of it. It is a feeding frenzy out there. Can anybody name a PI attorney in Utah? Robert DeBry. Who else? Craig Swab. Who's the other one that advertises the most? Yes, Siegfried and Roy, that's what I call them too. Siegfried and Jensen. How much money do you think they spend on advertising and marketing? Tons. This little law firm, not my client, so I don't know how well it's doing, but I bet you it's doing well. Christensen Law Firm. They have an ad, and they say, listen, if you would like to know more, the 7 biggest mistakes that can wreck your Utah accident case, call us for our free book. This is talking to one market, somebody in an auto accident business. Is this a brochure about them, or is it a brochure for you? It is for you, definitely. Now back on the, go ahead, Stephen.
I noticed, I heard this ad recently, he's now telling, it's now claimed in the ad that he's now an author.
Yes.
Just lends credence and credibility to this.
He is an author.
Yeah.
And I want all of you to be an author. And by the way, if you want to write a book, it's this end of the table you want to talk. Quick and fast and affordable. It's right here. Printing millions of them. Go to China, right? Did I say the right thing there? Sometimes I try to say the right things. So I get this book. The guy spent $1.90 mailing it to me. I saved the envelope as proof, and he sent it to me along with this firm, with this information, along with the cover letter. Dear friend, thank you for requesting the 7 business mistakes that can wreck your Utah accident. We're truly sorry for the delay in getting the book to you. They ran out of printed copies. And anyway, they start talking to me about this kind of stuff. How many of you have been in an accident in the last 10 years? Would you have read something like this? Would it have mattered to you? I'm kind of putting you on the spot. Why not?
Before, you mean?
Yeah, if you during the accident period of your life.
Because I'm never going to get in a wreck.
Okay, but you got into a wreck.
Oh yeah, I did.
See, what happens is when you're in a wreck, is that a cold, hot, or hot prospect? Cold, warm, or hot prospect? When you're in a wreck, it's very hot right there. If you were in a wreck, your antenna, remember my antenna analogy? We're always looking for something that applies to us. Right now, you're not in the market for this at all.
Oh, I'm always looking for it now.
I bet you are, and stuff like that. What he does is he goes in here and he shows what questions to ask, what things to do when getting in an accident. Now, have any of you in this room ever, what is your name, by the way?
Darlene.
Hi, nice to meet you, Darlene.
Thank you.
What business, oh, you're just fine. What business are you in?
I'm a real estate broker.
Ah, welcome, Darlene. How many of you have ever used an informational piece like this in your business? See, people don't. People don't, because we're all so focused on getting right to the core here where we get to this hot prospect. The beauty of doing something like this is that the hot prospect is going to look at this just as much as somebody that's warm that just had the accident because they want to protect themselves. Page 42. What are the benefits of a consumer awareness guide? I don't want to read all of these to you. But these are reasons that you want to have a consumer awareness guide. Now, turn the page over and I'm going to teach you how to create a consumer awareness guide. We were doing the first step just a minute ago when I asked you what is going on inside the mind of the person. What is going on inside of that person as they are contemplating parting with their money? The first thing that you want to do is you want to, everything right here is on page 43. You want to answer the top 10 questions your prospects are asking. And one of the ways of doing this is if you keep on getting questions from people, you want to start answering those questions in a consumer awareness guide. By the way, it doesn't always have to be in print. I have here an example on page 45 of what the Realtor magazine does. See, this is good for you, Hal, because you can do this kind of stuff online if you wanted, when you want to have people asking questions. What questions are they asking you, Hal? By the way, you make your money off advertising sales, yes?
Yeah.
That's probably 100% because you're probably not charging a subscription. So your market is the person, the business who says, hey, I've got other options and whatnot. What are questions that you get in your business?
From the people we try and sell to?
Yep. The most important people, by the way, because the 4,000 very rich homes up in your neighborhood don't really care. I mean, they're going to take whatever you give them. So what questions are you getting?
How much does it cost? Will it work? How do you define success? Why do they even read it? Things like that.
Do they ask questions on who's going to read it?
Yes.
Do they ask questions on when it's going to be delivered?
Yes.
Do they ask the quality of the paper?
Yes.
Do they ask the size of the ad? The cost of the ad? These are all these kind of questions. A lot of times we make the biggest mistake in the world of thinking that when somebody's talking to us, they want to know about you. No, they want to know about how you're going to be able to help them. See, that's the whole difference between this consumer awareness guide and a brochure. A brochure is, hey, look how great I am, and you can trust me, and I've got a great brand and everything like that. The consumer awareness guide is 100% on what's going on in their mind. In fact, you want to make it that pure, if you will. So the steps, I'm on page 43 again. Step number 2, I want you to list all the fears that your prospects are feeling. By the way, these overlap, I realize that. People do not want to be ripped off, lied to, harmed, make a mistake when they're buying. They don't want any misunderstandings. They don't want you to hide any secrets from them. I'm going to show you another example. This is one that I got on I was watching a TV commercial, and it's 100 questions and answers about mesothelioma. I don't even know how to say it. I just got it because I knew they were going to send me a free book. The problem in sending this particular book is they didn't. What is the problem in just sending the book to a guy like me about mesothelioma?
Goes on all the others that you haven't read.
It does. And what could they have done different on this particular one?
Personalized it.
Not only personalized, but what should they have done before sending it to me? Or what could they have done before sending it to me?
See if you have a need for it.
Ask questions. Remember, this is valuable. And it's a very simple technique that you can use if you do create one of these. I'm going to show you some other ones that are not so big and whatnot. All you have to do is can I ask you a few questions about your mesothelioma? I can't even say it. Can I ask you a few questions? Yeah, sure. Do you have it? Do you know what it is? Who's got it in your family? They didn't do anything on that. They just sent it to me free of charge. This is a client. We did create this particular one. I know the design is ugly, but it really worked really well. My client was a company called Sleepwell Diagnostics. They were a sleep center based in a hotel. Who has had an overnight sleep test besides me? Fun, aren't they? They put all the things on you, and they monitor you, and there's a camera on you all night long, and you just don't want to do anything, no sounds or movements that are just not right. This particular market was for a client that could not sleep. And so what we did was we created a book, and in this particular case, we had somebody else create it for us, Dr. Mittler, who wrote a book, and it was called 101 Questions About Sleep and Dreams. We were talking to who? Somebody that couldn't sleep. And so we give all this kind of information about this particular industry. I'm going to show you one more, and then I want to talk about you.
And then they read it at night and was on right out.
That's right, they went right to sleep. This book has been created since 2005. The reason I have an older copy here is because we do it 100% online now. The company is called Equimark Properties. Does anybody in this room know who Equimark Properties is? Does anybody care? These folks are in the real estate business, but only apartments and only big apartments. So that even you, Darlene, I can't believe it. You don't. By the way, if I pick on you, I love you. Okay, you don't even know about it. You don't have to. It's not your market and whatnot. These people created for years a book, and they would mail it out 4 times a year, and it's 24 pages long. And if you notice the book, it's kind of slick, and it showed where all the apartments are being sold, where the prices are going, and things like that. We're talking to people in the apartment industry. You guys are thinking, oh, this is so boring. Let me tell you how successful these guys are here. This is their little flyer. The dark part right here is how many apartments, percentage-wise, Equimark sells every year. They own 60% of the market, and you don't even know them. I'm disappointed. You don't know them because they're not your market. But my point is this is their entire approach, is becoming the experts in the industry. You have got to be the smartest HR guy around. You've got to be the smartest of whatever you do in Red Barrel Consulting. You've really got to be the smartest at it. You've got to be the smartest ad guy around. I've done what you've done before. I've sold ad space before for the Orange County Register. Tough industry, because everybody wants to take everybody as advertising money. So you create something like this, and now you're the expert. And you want to be the expert. You're going to say something, Jared.
Well, just interesting, and hopefully I don't take this off the rails, but just last night I was on a website looking at things, and on one of the pages there was a consumer awareness guide. Enter your email address to get 8 facts about law.
Yeah.
And you get a PDF.
Yep.
And because that was one of the first pages I was on, I actually did it. But then is what I noticed, and it totally backfired, at least for me, because I felt betrayed.
Okay, this is good.
Every single page on their website you clicked on, 7 facts about this.
Oh, God.
6 things about that. 2 things. Every single one, they were the expert and had a consumer awareness guide on their page. So you had to put your...
Thank you for bringing that up.
So I did the first one, and then every other one I was just like, you guys are a bunch of...
You got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. I have a client right now who is a chiropractor. He's not a client anymore, but I'm on his mailing list. And he started 2 weeks ago a daily informational sheet to me. A daily emailed. And I could tell it was canned. We all know when something is canned. We all know when something has been prepackaged and bought from somebody else. And you can do that. But you've got to remember, you're not in the Chinese torture business here. You're not sitting here, boom, 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 just knocking them on the head. That'll drive people nuts. That drove you nuts. I don't mind giving away my information, but then when they start hitting me every day with an email and they start wanting more. By the way, I am not anti-technology. We're in technology whether we like it or not. We all have to be involved in technology. But what I'm finding is something very interesting in the marketing world. The online methods do work. But some of these old traditional printed and handed to somebody work a little bit more. Do you know why? Because online has kind of done exactly what you're doing right now. Now you have this, and you could do whatever you want with it. The beauty of having something printed, and I am kind of pushing you to print it, is that they can print it and they look at it. We don't have any more pop-ups coming up. We don't have anybody calling us on the phone, and it's very, very low-key. The purpose with a consumer awareness guide, and I've done several of them, is to educate people about what I'm doing, and I create this relationship. Darlene, did you have your hand up?
I do. So he's marketing to you, or did you have to call
This
like
per-
the other one to get that?
Oh, this is very good. Very good question. One of the first rules of marketing is to know who your pond is and where you are swimming. He does not send this to everybody. In fact, he used to put a price on there that he would qualify them over the phone. This is the brilliance of it. See, if you start giving away so much information, then you've kind of cheapened the aura about you. You got to be very careful who you're talking to. This particular guy, he would qualify them, and he had a database of every apartment buyer in Salt Lake County. They really are the kings. They really do own, oh, I lied, 56%, not 60. I mean, they're beating out people, Commerce, CRG, Coldwell Banker, Marcus and Millichap. These guys are national people, these other companies, and they're beating them because they are the experts in that particular industry. People want to work with the smartest guy in what you're doing, Jeff, and that is what you're offering. Does that question?
Yeah. So where do they get that database?
Oh, they have sources for it. A lot of it. Here's the interesting thing. It's from the government. The government has this kind of stuff. It's public knowledge anyway, but it's the way that they packaged it. See, every time I show this, people say, hey, they can get this stuff online. Yeah, you can get anything online now. You really can. But it's the packaging of it and you becoming the expert on it. And you giving that information. Jason.
So this is, I don't know, I guess to enlighten a little bit. So there's an article report put out a couple years ago on group purchasing organizations.
Yes.
And why they should or should not be used or there's of them. So if we take something like that and use that as to start putting this guide together and
Yeah.
stuff.
By the way, how long should a consumer awareness guide be? It really does not matter.
7 questions, it seems like the magic number.
No. Yes, 7 habits. No, it's really as long as it takes to get the particular job done. This is a client of mine. Very interesting industry. This is, again, boring, isn't it? Black and white. By the way, I recommend black and white. I mean, it shows credibility. You can print them on demand. You can make it a PDF or you can mail it. This is a client. His name is David Musselman. He is the president and founder of the Common Ground Divorced Specialists. If you've ever gone through a divorce, it is expensive. Does anybody in this room know what the average cost, clients, so I know my stuff, what is the average cost of a divorce in Utah per person? It's a really interesting figure. It's going to blow your mind. Why is it? What was the number? Take a guess per person. 12,000 per person? 10. You were so close. Believe it or not, in Utah, it's $10,000. Did you know that there is a better way of getting a divorce, and that is going through a mediation? This guy can put you through a divorce in 4 steps for a flat fee of, I think his current fee is $1,500. But he knows what is going on in the mind of a divorced person, and he knows the battle that they're going through right now, and he knows the battle they're going with an attorney, because the attorneys don't like mediators. Why is that? It's always about the money. The 5 biggest mistakes people make in divorce. Attention, Utah couples considering divorce. Do you remember, we're down at the cold prospects. It still reaches the hot, but if you're even thinking about it, and who hasn't thought about divorce at least once in their life, thinking, I am, not you, of course, I mean, it's just, bless you, you're wonderful. Who has not thought about running out of a relationship? We all have, don't lie to me. I know you have, we have. That's normal, because living with somebody else is a tough situation, and we've all thought, I wonder if divorce is the right solution for me. So he's talking to them about them. Then he goes in here, mistake number 1, following the well-intended advice of family and friends. When you get thinking about divorce, 2 camps are already set up, right? Especially if you moved out. One camp is for the bride, one camp is for the groom. And the friends and the family are telling, I went to this guy, and this is what you got to do, and you got to protect yourself here. And number 2, thinking you will get to tell your side of the story to a judge, and the judge will listen. If you've gone through a divorce, this is probably going to matter to you. Mistake number 3, assume the judge can make better decisions than you can about your family. Number 4, falling into the trap set by many divorce attorneys that begins with the very popular phrase, free consultation. Of course an attorney wants to get you a free consultation. How does an attorney make money? How do attorneys charge money? How do they make money in this racket? And I don't mean to call it a racket, but I'm not fond of attorneys. How do attorneys make money? By the hour. And so, does an attorney want, deep down in his heart, a peaceful divorce or a contested divorce? He is hoping this will drag on. My mother-in-law, it's not my mother-in-law, but somebody that Jeff also knows, it's been over a year now, and it's cost her over 10 grand. Isn't that interesting that the number would be that it's gone up because they keep on contesting, they keep on fighting everything. What was the 5th one? I can't remember what the 5th one was. Oh, thinking there is such thing as a cheap way to divorce and you could do it by yourself. Then he goes on and tells you all the options and things like that. Now, okay, here's your assignment. And if you want to go around, and if you don't want to talk, you don't have to talk. Tell me what the headline, but that's step number 3. What is the headline of your consumer awareness guide? This is free brainstorming time session. What are you going to say? What are you going to say on yours, Ellen? Because I did a consumer awareness guide when I was looking for a job. And I had a very interesting headline. I put this well-rounded contender into your advertising ring, and it was a picture of me in a boxing stance, and I talked to them about the market and why I'm the guy. What is the headline for your consumer awareness guide. This is hard, by the way. If you can't think of a headline, what are some things that you think you ought to include in yours? And by the way, this is time to talk if you have some ideas or thoughts, and if you don't, I'm going to show you some more. Jessica.
Stop getting complaints against your substitute teachers.
Oh, that's a wonderful headline. Who are you talking to?
HR.
You are. That's what they're thinking. They don't like that. You can go home now. That's why we probably with you two going to stay, okay? See, now you're talking to the heart of these person, and that's what they don't want, that kind of headache. That's a wonderful idea. Good. Write that down. That's worth keeping and massaging a little bit. By the way, the headline just gets them in. The headline is the most important part of it, but by the time they get it, they're going to wonder why they got such a big guide from you. Does anybody else have one they want to share? And if you're not, I'm going to show you some more until your mind starts thinking. This is more important than your webpage, which is about you. This is more important than about your brochure, which is about you. This is about them. You're an easy one, Russell.
How an employee can destroy your business.
Yeah, how an employee, because I've heard you, by the way, Russell talks at certain things with me, and I've heard him talk, and sometimes you say things that make me cringe. And because you talk to the heart of the matter, you're thinking, wow, I've been an employer. Yeah. One time you said something like, what to do if you hate your employees and you're afraid of firing them, or something like that. I don't know what I took off of that. Financial guy. This is a one-man show. He's a client of mine. His name is TH Financial. He's in Highland. And he came to me and said, I want to create a brochure, and it's got to be a threefold brochure, and I want a picture of me on the cover, and I want to show me with my horses, and I'm going to list all the licenses that I have. What is that? It's about me. That's a company brochure. And I said, talk to me about this industry. We spent months on this bugger, and I started asking him questions. This is why you're glad to be here today on this earth, right, Garrett? He gets right to the heart of the matter in his cover letter. He says, prospective clients ask me, why should I choose you as my advisor? That's kind of what they're going on in their mind, right? You know, why should I choose you? And then he goes on and he talks about himself. He has a paragraph here that says, I hate suits. He doesn't like suits because he's a cowboy type of a guy. I'm not your average corporate cookie cutter advisor. I wear jeans about every day. I really hate suits. You won't come to me because you're impressed by my Armani suit, and you won't let me manage your $700,000 retirement nest egg because you like my big desk. Let's face it, you're only interested in 2 points. Do I know what I'm doing, and can you trust me? This guy revealed to me what people were going through in their mind and in their heart before they're choosing a financial planner. This, by the way, when I show this to people, people say, there's no way I would create a 38-page consumer awareness guide for my company. I don't have enough to say. What's inside for you? Page 5, results of not planning for the future. Page 6, this brochure will help you in 3 ways. Then we divide it into 5 major categories. The financial industry, about his company a little bit, tools that you can use, and personal planning sheets. Page 7, this is an interesting one. What is a financial planner? What is a HR guy? Seriously, what is... This is the problem with you, Russell. I'm going to pick on you for a minute because I've known you the longest here. Is that you... nobody knows what you do. Isn't that interesting? And they do kind of know what they do. We know it's a HR type of a thing, but most of the people that you talk to do not want to raise their hand and say, I just don't get it. You remember the scene in Big, the movie, where Tom Hanks, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. People don't want to raise their hand. They don't want to feel stupid. And so this is to prevent stupidity. What kind of homes do you sell?
Well, I was just gonna tell you, I focus in on seniors, because I am a senior.
Okay.
I give seminars once a month to seniors, and I invite people like financial planners, trust and wills, reverse mortgage, everything that pertains to us in our life right now. So it's informative information for seniors.
Wonderful for being so targeted on who you're going after. People are asking the same thing. Why Darlene and why not somebody else? I don't care if you're seniors, what they're thinking, okay? By the way, this is not me talking. This is them. I'm kind of like Poltergeist. So, I don't really care about you, okay? Yeah, you can play the card that you're over 50. I'm assuming you're over 50. And you can play that card, but they're still asking, why her? Why? Oh, can I really try? I don't care. She's slick. She's cute. She's, why her? By the way, if you do not print this guy who printed this has now a shorter version of it, but the process that he went through in trying to figure out what was in the mind of his consumer was all the wonder for him. He was, before this brochure, managing $11 million in assets. Not bad. Today, one-man show in his house, $38 million. Is that good or bad? It's pretty good, isn't it? Considering, with a black and white brochure. So he talks about this, and this applies to you. Just talk about your industry. How to choose a financial advisor. Page 9, ask these questions, and then I'll show you what page 9 looks like. So he says, ask these questions of me and anybody else that you interview with. Go ahead. How long have you been practicing? How long have you been with your current firm? What security registrations do you hold? What insurance licenses do you hold? People don't know how to ask this, Garrett. You know, I mean, they just don't know it. They don't know what questions to ask. How many in this room know what a Series 66 license is? 64. I thought you said 66.
I did 66, yeah.
Okay. What is, who knows what that is?
Is it insurance or?
Okay, two of you are like, they kind of know. What is it, Russell? Take a guess.
It's license to sell security.
Oh, that's right, you're HR. I should, yeah, I forget, you know too much. What is it for?
So it's, yeah, it'd be licensed to sell securities. And so it covers both the 63 and the 64.
Okay. See, the brochure that is talking about, you would say, I hold the securities.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It covers the other half.
Okay, see, what you guys start talking turkey now. Nobody cares. And I'm talking about you consumer. Yeah, it's just everybody's in here saying, oh, God, can we stand up? Yes, we can stand up.